Welcome, everyone, to an incredible new year, 2023. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible Ascension Hour with Rev HoniB and her incredible guests. And today's truly a privileged and an honorable guest who most of you know already, LIGHTSTAR, with her incredible shining star and the radiance of that divine presence that she brings forth. And I couldn't truly be more thankful, more humbly grateful that her and I are joining forces together today on this 4th day of January to bring that in which is truth in her divine, precious presence for you today, for her ascension walk that will help uplift you, support you, guide you, so you can listen more to your inner wisdom and guidance for your ascension journey. So welcome, beautiful LIGHTSTAR. Thank you so much for being here, being the guest today. I have been looking forward to this, and I welcome you with all of my heart.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be here. I'm looking forward to all of the goodness that comes forth, and Happy New Year to everyone. Very excited about a new year, as we all are. So thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Of course, and thank you. And as always, when we begin, we are just going to relax back and tune into this frequency first with the prayers around. So we're in this incredible frequency of light. So that in which wants to be brought forth is able to be anchored properly into our conscious awareness. So I ask all of you to uncross your legs and just relax back and close your eyes as you place your hands in the heart. And let us take that deep in-breath and that slow in-breath into our heart and hold the breath as we connect into that dazzling, gracious, holy flame of light with its crystalline diamond presence. And just feeling the Almighty inside, radiating its bright, bountiful light. And as we connect with it, feeling the love inside, let us breathe out through our mouth and release the air back into our field. And let us take a nice deep in-breath back in again from the horizontal plane into our heart, same place, and holding the breath. As we draw our attention downward through all the lower chakras, through this tube of light, connecting all the way to the heart of Sophia Gaia, into her crystalline diamond heart, and connecting with that sacred essence of the unity Christ consciousness underneath, and drawing the out-breath downward to make sure she knows we are here, heart to heart, connecting with her today. Let us take another deep in-breath from this horizontal plane back into our heart and hold your breath as from your sacred heart, I ask you to draw the attention upward through your upper chakras in this vertical axis of light, all the way up, passing through the great central sun, all the way to source, connecting to the heart of source, the source of luminosity and creation, and connecting to the pure essence of the sparkling light that you are. And draw the breath outward, all the way up, connecting your heart to the heart of source creation. And your next in-breath, draw this next in-breath nice and slowly all the way into the center of your heart, as you connect in this vertical axis of light and this horizontal axis of light, connecting right in the central space. And I want you to breathe from the center out in all direction, all the way out to your sphere of light, in your biosphere light. and allowing yourself to fully be enclosed in this dazzling, pure white golden light, the light that never fails, the light of love, of divine love that is here to guide the way, to show the way, to be the luminosity of abundance and presence in every step that you take on your ascension walk. And all of us enclosed in this presence of light. So all that will be brought forth comes from the true essence and alignment from here. Anything less than the divine perfection may not interact in any which way. And so be it, as we welcome Light Star into our day as the first speaker of Ascension Hour. Thank you so much. And we'll get right into it, beautiful sister, because this ascension, fantastic journey and its walk has so many layers in it, so many dimensions to it, so many awareness levels and octaves of light in it. And certainly not easy, and certainly very joyous simultaneously. And I'd like to open the space up for you where you are today in this exact golden now, because you've journeyed for quite a while and you are sitting with the richness of what this ascension is up until this point, and what has been the direct experience in which you can communicate through for the audience. Like this is where I'm at right now, because this is the lens through my heart I am truly seeing. So I'm going to welcome that space up for you to start with us.
Well, that's a great question. And I feel that I'm in a period of time right now in my own path where I'm ready to take another step into a different level. And so, sometimes when we do that, like it slows down a little bit, or things slow down or things don't, maybe it feels like they're stagnant a little bit, or nothing's really happening. But I've been feeling this for a while, but it's definitely this year. I'm definitely feeling like there's some new coming in for me this year. And so I have been, really excited about what's coming for myself. I know that I'm, moving to another level. I even have some of my spiritual guides that have been around me for a long time, and I feel like they're sort of passing the baton to someone else. And so I feel like there's another coming, or maybe multiple that are coming in to take me to that next level. And so it's a good thing, because, you've come to a certain point, and I've done a lot of work and gotten to a certain place. And so it's about time, I'm feeling like time to do that. Yeah. So I'm excited and looking forward to that. And I think the other part to that is just in my path, I know that the DNA activations are going to be really, really big this year. And so I've been feeling like I'm going to be getting some myself, and then I'm supposed to also provide that for other people. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of that this year, for other people, and doing a lot of DNA activations and upgrades on my, for light language updates, transmissions, and ways for people to increase and really access those layers of strands of DNA that we're unlocking. So that's exciting too.
That's super exciting. And I love that what you shared, this is very important for the audience, because on this ascension walk, you do go through these stages, and each stage you do enter the space where you have to have the courage and strength to stop and let go, so that that next level of octaves of light that are ready to come online and be shared come through. And we can't kind of hoard all of it. And I'm a witness to this, to myself, where we just entered. This is like the whole new platform we just entered in with everything. We're service to, and how important that is to recognize that and allow. And it may be quite different because there's a whole other team. I remember it's like passing the potato. You said you pass to another, now another one has to work with you, and another one, and not to feel because I feel sometimes with some of our team, we become so attached to them in that communication every day, and then there's also like a grieving period because it's like, right?
You have to let go. It's like you have to release and let go. And, after you go through these layers of integration, because, we integrate and then we go up a step and then we integrate and then we go up a step and then integrate and all that. And then when we have to release and let go of, some connections, it's a little bit strange and it feels sad. And yet it's also exciting and happy at the same time, and so there's a lot of emotions that go on. And there's a lot of frustration that comes too. We tend to get frustrated because we're impatient. Humanity is not the most patient. I'm not very patient. I have, I'm always like, I want it now, So I think that when we do learn patience though, and knowing that our process, like every single one of you guys, everybody's process is different. Yes. Some people are going to integrate slower and some people are going to go faster. And yet there's times where even those people that went faster have to slow down. So we have to honor and appreciate, I think, our own process and allow that to happen and not get frustrated. Not that we're going to get frustrated, but not to let that affect us to, stop us from moving forward.
Exactly. And that frustration is a very interesting energy that I'm glad you brought it up, because sometimes it seems that as if you're not able to fulfill as much or complete as much, whereas I've come to notice that's not really what's happening. What's happening is because there's this vibration that had been stored within in more deeper and deeper areas within the fabrics of life, has now surfaced to also allow this to be kind of loved and really pardoned, because it's just time. It's time for this next phase coming in, and it's not necessarily we cannot accomplish. That's not it at all. It's just now we're at a place where we can truly love the frustration. That's not about now. That's from before. We just couldn't. We didn't have the ability to love it because of circumstance and what have you.
I think when you go through those processes too, when you go through your frustration and then you do it, if you go through it enough times and then you look back to see why, like, for example, a project you're working on and you're frustrated because it's not coming to fruition. But yet, if you look back later, what ends up happening most of the time is that particular project was not ready to come to fruition because of some other reason that maybe you don't even see. And there may be, when we say divine timing, there is something to that you can't push and force something to happen when it's not. Something needs to gestate, or there's maybe another person that needs to be involved in that. And I've gone through this so many times because I'm like master at like spitting out so many different projects, done with this one. But I've had these times where things just don't go the way that I wanted them to go in the timing. And we have to just release, and it's frustrating. But then I've seen it enough times to where I say, okay, I understand. There's a reason for why this is not happening right now. And trust that, because that's how you get to trust in your own process. And you get to see that. And the more you do it and the more you look back and say, oh, okay, that's why, then it doesn't get so hard, every time that happens or every time that surfaces. So even the frustration is good for us to learn, right?
And there's that internal constant cleansing as a result of it. It's like, because it just brings it up so that it can bring it to alignment and constant alignment, because it is all about alignment. All these incredible greatness is ready to be alchemized on this plane of reality. And these are part of it, so that they can, when love is brought to it, it can transmute it. So then it becomes available, and then it can be anchored one after another. What you said reminded me where we are as we started on January 1st here, LIGHTSTAR. It's a combination of what back in 2006, I started with my center, and this whole in Washington, DC, starting like the green movement and what have you, living green. And then, so talk about what we're now 23 years later. It's like a global level what me and Michael are putting together with our Ascension Alchemy. It's so interesting all these years later, and like everything had to let go and then go through all these other things. Now it's at a whole different level that you can see so clearly why all of that was part of it. And I feel this is very important what you shared for the audience.
Yeah, it's a huge,
you can lose faith, you can lose trust, you can become just kind of like turn your back, and it's not to turn your back, it's to know that too is part of your ascension experience.
It's part of the process. It's part of all of it. And I remember one time when I started hearing the word alignment, being in alignment, or are you in alignment, or, be in alignment with this, that, or the other thing. And I kept wondering at the time, I was like, what does that really mean? Because a lot of people are like, alignment. Okay, what's that mean? And I didn't feel I was in alignment at the time, but I didn't exactly know, well, what does that mean? And let's get tangible with that so that people, we can understand what that means. Right. And for me, I only understood it, I think, after I had gone through a period of not in alignment, and then something clicked. Yeah. And then I felt like for instance, in my mission, many years ago, it was like 10 years ago. And I was actually in this like process of, figuring all that out. And then something clicked. It was like literally like clicked, like a click in place. Yes. And then it was like a feeling of like, now I feel like I'm in alignment. It's like all my chakras were centered. Everything was firing on all levels at the same time. And so I think that that's what it really means. It's like, it's almost like, when you say alignment, but when things are in alignment and they're clicking and firing. And sometimes I even imagine a white, thread of just coming from the heavens, a straight, yes, cord of light, or something that then, tangibly gives you a visual of being in alignment. Yes. And you feel it. So I think that's a kind of important thing for people to realize. I know it was a little bit difficult for me to figure out what is not in alignment, what is in alignment, how do I get in alignment? And those kind of things are important.
And the alignment has its own connotation, because at one point there's an alignment with the physical self, you get to discover that. Then there's an alignment with the spiritual self, you get to discover. Then there's an alignment with like the galactic self. It's like, so it's like layered, what that is, like what that experience. And then there's a whole nother experience when you get to experience all of it, and you literally viscerally experience all of it, like in oneness. It's like, okay, this, I recognize this now, and we don't stay in it that long. It's no. Little, periods.
Yeah, we go in and out of alignment a lot.
of that one, the total alignment, and that also is important. There are multiple layers, and because these bodies are so sweet, there are so many bodies, and they all need their own love, attention. Yeah. And then we in this incredible human incarnation, we're really attempting to really do it all. And do you feel LIGHTSTAR, like when you sit back, holy heavens, what an incredible wowness it is to have chosen this essence that we are in these garments and get to study, like being in the body, being in the emotions, being in the mental, being in all these different bodies, from the solar body and then the cosmic body, galactic, all of these bodies all want to reveal themselves to you. And
Yeah,
like,
it's a
have
very
like the food and everything too in the middle, and the relations. It's like, wow, what an experience. Like, really.
it's an honor to be in these bodies, but it's also a lot of times for especially all the star seeds who don't feel like they want to be in these bodies because they're so limiting, or just so-called limiting at the moment, because we haven't actually been able to access at the moment, some of the things that make it more advanced, I guess, in the body. We are doing that now, but we're starting to climb out of that. But yeah, the bodies are sometimes I always felt like when I was in my body, I'd be like, this doesn't feel like it's my real body. There's something about like a pull on my skin. Like, I don't know, this body just feels strange and foreign, to a lot of us, but yet that's where we have to be, is in our bodies, to be able to fully bring our spiritual and ascension energies. All of it has to be in our body fully and completely. That's what it really is about. It's not about ascending and flying away to some place. And it's about trying to be in these present bodies and anchor in all those frequencies and all that love and all the creator energies and all of our activations and all of our love for our fellow brothers and sisters, and to really anchor that in the body. And that's what a lot of us are learning, how to do that, and how to be present.
In that you shared, because maybe this has also been shared with you with your team. I was shown, especially with the galactic team, when you're in the body, you really truly choose. It's a choice to love. Like, it is the experience of love. That's what you came experience, the love of the garment you're in for that temporary time. Then it's like that love is the doorway. Then you're able to access these higher abilities. Like, I remember there was one time, it's the only time LIGHTSTAR 10 years ago, that I was radiating in so much love inside of me. I can't even describe the amount. And I remember middle of the night, I was awoken and I saw literally an oval portal in the bedroom. And I was told, you can go through it now. And I got up and I put my foot in, and like this, I left. And then I showed up within a second in my friend's apartment in Los Angeles. And I put one foot out and I saw him. He was with a woman in his bedroom. I was like, I'm not going to go in. It's one of my best friends. So I put my one foot out and I saw that. And I was like, and I saw the whole thing. This was no imagination. Physically, I got to experience this. And I was like, okay, not now. So I put my foot back in, and then within a second, I was back in my bedroom in East Coast. But what happened was my entire system got thrown off, especially my endocrine system. And it was like as if I was outside my body. I couldn't come back in. And they said, I said, what's happening? Like, why did you show? I was reading in this love. And they said, because not enough individuals on the planet are vibrating at this. The more they do, then this becomes naturally, we wanted to just show you what's so natural, easy to you. And that was it, like effortless. There was nothing. And I'm sure you've had experience, like it's like nothing. But
well, I completely understand that. I know I've shared this before, I think with some people on my channel, but I definitely have had the experience where I was pouring in at a time so much love into my body on a daily basis. I was trying to raise the frequency. So I was just sitting there in meditation, just pouring love in, like light love, just really, really strong. And after a period of time, it was only like a couple of weeks, and I started to have the shakes. My hands, I started feeling like my nervous system was just getting fried because it wasn't used to that much energy flowing into the body and it couldn't contain it, and our containers can only hold so much because we have to integrate to be able to contain that. So I had to back off on that for a while. And I would say, like, I took the magnesium because that helps a lot with your nervous system. That helps to balance things out. But we have to be conscious and aware that our bodies are getting there. We're opening up to the light frequencies, but sometimes we have to do that a little slower, because if we just start pouring it in, like, yeah, bring it on, it can be overwhelming.
Right. And short-circuited. And that's
especially the nervous system, because that's the thing that is the electricity of our body. And that can get short-circuited really easily, especially those who have that fine-tuned nervous system already, that's sensitive. Yeah. And you really got to watch that for sure.
It becomes very important to be in a community when you're raising. That's why, because creators love when it's several of you, it moves through, it balances out. So all of us raise and it balances out. This becomes so important, so important, because the natural abilities can come in, especially the great Melchizedek has shared. So we have so much material from what they have shared with Michael and I with this. I actually want to bring this on to you regarding the solar discs of light, when the humanity can activate its solar discs of light, the 33 of them. They're able to, through that teleportation by location, so easy, but enough people on the planet are vibrating that, then it doesn't become, it's exactly the technology that it's a technology we've used when we were in Atlantis. We still have it. It's just waiting to come online for us. And the key is these little pockets of frustration. All of these things have to be loved, so it raises properly and then becomes available. So it's like that gracious. It's not like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's a slow wave, instead of the fast, crazy, chaotic nodes that we have been experiencing, especially in our outer world. We have the outer exterior world, that's the chaos, and the outside. And then we also have our own personal stuff we're working on. And so we have to balance these two things while being in the world, but not, of the world, but just allowing ourselves to experience what we need to experience and not get sucked in and sucked downward, but holding that vibration. As I always like to use the tree, be like the mighty oak tree that, is got the trunk firmly rooted in the ground, but then the leaves are, flowing with the wind. And that's the analogy I think of us, to really anchor that, and then nourish that, nourish our roots so that we can actually be strong and then raise ourselves up, and be in that place together, as a collective. That's all of us are working on individually, different aspects of all of these things. But it's important for us to be grounded for sure, with all of this, and to ground it in, and to be, part of Gaia. Gaia is helping us. Mother Earth is helping us. Yes. Some people, we call it Sophia or Gaia or Mother Earth, or I like to call it the jewel of Terra. That's what we're on, living on. And so, it's a beautiful place to be, but we can experience challenges, but to really honor those challenges and not ignore them will be in our best interests for sure.
Speaking of challenges, in this now, Light Star, if I were to ask you, where is one area that you're like, what, I very easily I can send it. This is an area that I'm still struggling with. I haven't gotten this. And simultaneously, where is the area like, I got this down, like this is one of the examples, so that can help the audience.
That's really great. God, that's a great question. And I like to be authentic and genuine about what's going on too. But I'd say that one of the things that I'm working on as consistency. I have trouble with, especially when it comes to manifesting like money or, consistency is an area I vowed to really work on that this year, instead of having like these big, floods, that comes in and then is like this nothing. And I know that that's sometimes good because it gives you downtime, but I just wanted to have a little more consistency with the energy flow. And so my manifestation, I have to work on that, in terms of getting it more consistent with the manifesting, so.
And what is that? One second, just for our artists, so what is that you look at? That consistency does what for you?
Well, I think it feels like I get more stability. I feel more stable. I feel more connected. And I feel better, overall, more confident. I'm an Aquarian, so like I'm futuristic. I'm always in the future, so it's hard for me I have to be in the present moment. So you pull yourself back from the future and all the future stuff I'm looking at and creating, and just be in the present moment so I can feel more consistent, more balanced in my, moment, in the now moment. I guess that's part of it, right? Is being in the present moment so that you can be in that consistency. And so I think that pulling myself back into, regular, whether it be regular meditations or regular processes to manifest those things. It's not really so much like about the money. It's more about like feeling that security and feeling that freedom and having that, on a regular basis. And so that's one area I probably am working on. And one area that I think I've mastered, I guess, in some ways is really, I'm very good. I'm like first of all, I can create on command. I can create even if there's chaos in the world. I don't know. I don't get distracted. It's not like I get like writer's block or artist block or any of that. I don't get those kind of things because I've just learned, maybe that's through my corporate experience, and I had to create there on command, that it just followed over to this. But I'm very good at creating on command, and that part of it I do consistently, and I'm very good at that. In terms of getting things done, I'm like a workaholic though, but I do get a lot accomplished, and I can, I'm definitely very, I'm just very good with like doing things on a regular basis, the worker bee mentality, but I'm very good at that, and I'm good at multitasking, and I get a lot of things done. And so an ascension level that helps me, to move to levels pretty quickly. Like I'll go through a period of time and integrate. And then like I said, now I'm doing it, but I can go through these processes pretty easily and receive, downloads. A lot of people have trouble with that, receiving downloads, but I've been getting them pretty well and effective at that. So those are some of the areas that I feel like I'm getting it, and I got it, and okay, I'm good, not done, but just I'm good at receiving that kind of stuff. And I just do it, like your intuition, the extrasensory perceptions that I've gotten so far. I'm like really good at utilizing those skill sets and bringing it through my artwork, so, and that brings in light codes and abundant codes for everybody, and brings through all of the energies from the otherworldly place. So I think those are areas where I've gotten to excel at over the years, for sure.
Excellent. And I really appreciate that you shared that, because there's this part on this ascension journey. It's very important to embrace the authentic self in areas. Yes, here, own it. I mastered this. I got this. Like the confidence is very healthy. The other part, this area, back on the drawing board, in work in progress. Here's this area. And this is very, very important, because a lot of times then there's this sort of illusion on the ascension. You are not, having these sort of like these other areas, which could be farther from the
truth. And I'm very, I'm really more genuine in that. I really feel, I don't talk about myself a lot, and I do talk about it, but I generally don't like to talk about myself, just because I like to share and give, on my channel and activate other people. It's not all about me, but I do share things about myself. And I definitely feel that we're not all perfect. And those of us that are in this line of work, we're here showing you things that we've done and things that we've learned, but we are doing this ourselves and learning these things ourselves. So we're not perfect at it. And so I don't want to give the impression that everything's all smiley and wonderful all the time. a lot of times it is, and that's great when it's fun and exciting, but we definitely go through times that, we're not all perfect. And I think the day of the gurus are really over in that way. We are not here to look at people. I mean, we're here to appreciate people, that you love and that do work that you love, but let's not put them up on a pedestal like they're perfect and everything like that, because we're not. We're doing our best to, get where we all need to go. So having that, that compassion for everybody is going through it. No one is really better than anyone else. It's just they're different and they're got different, skill sets, and maybe they're ahead in this area, but they may be struggling with something else.
Yes.
So just, being truthful and honoring that is where I think is the most important thing, to have.
And you're in a relationship that you've been for several years, as Michael and I have. And it's very interesting as a couple. There was a period of 2 years, Michael and I did only interviews with other couples who were in a sacred divine union, because we really wanted to learn from them. Are they experiencing what they're experiencing? Let's share. What are some, because individually, when we call to a divine union and this sacred walk of ascension, then to walk it together individually is one that we're experiencing. And then the union itself is going through so much. And it's like this library of wisdom opens up through the union, like it's its own child that's showing the way. I look at it as the Holy Christ. Like, honestly, it's like, it's the Holy Christ itself. It's like showing the way. And it's through this purity, but it is quite something. And I've noticed we're public individuals because we've answered that call to serve. Our mission, it's so clear for us. And you guys, I know that's the same. You're walking together, you're serving. And then there's all these very interesting sort of like sometimes projection and sometimes different views, and a lot of people always ask, do you ever fight? We're like, you better believe we are good. Yes, we get into it with this. I mean, it's impossible not to have. We go through so much together, because especially more when you're together, everything else shows up even more in that.
Oh yes.
So if you want to address anything around that.
Wow. Yeah, because that's a giant topic on how we feel that some people are really, in alignment, I guess, with their own truth about the twin flame, twin soul energy. And myself and my partner stands with Bear, we've been together for, I think it's going on 12 years now, I believe. It's like how when we were trying to look back at the timing there. And I think that the challenge sometimes is to think of, when you get into that mindset of twin flame, twin soul, or you start thinking that you're supposed to be all roses and loving and everything's all perfect all the time. But when you actually do come together, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you have to work through. And especially if you've had some karmic relationships, like, we had a lot of karmic lives together, so we have to work out some stuff that continually showed up right in the beginning. Sometimes people say their relationships go for like 7 years, a 7-year itch or something. And then all these things show up because it was perfect in the beginning. Well, our relationship was, everything showed up from like right up in the beginning. There was no, like, it's almost like there was no courting period either. It was just like I always say to him, like, it was like a comfortable shoe, that you just put your foot in it. It's like, oh, this feels great. There wasn't any of that, just courting period, and it wasn't all perfect. Everything just kind of showed up right then. But we were also shown that we had past lives together pretty quickly up front. And then some of the other past lives took a few years for us to actually go back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. And now I understand why this dynamic is happening. So it's, we really have, but I feel like I came from a position of learning as much as I could on my own. Like I'm very much on my own, very independent. And I was out of a relationship for like 10 years in between, relationships. And so I was really like very comfortable in my own shoes and very comfortable with individuality and independence and being on my own. and I didn't even really want a relationship. So for me, that was as far as I was going to be able to take it. And I learned that part of it. And I think that's also why the timing, it was right for him to come in, because I had a whole other plethora of things to learn with a partner that reflects that back to you, right? It's just your mirror constantly. And both of us have had to make concessions in our relationship to work with one another. And it hasn't been easy, but it's also been rewarding at the same time, you know? And so I think that when people this is just my own feeling on it, is try not to put so much into that twin soul energy and just allow what is there to surface. Because even if you're not in what you call the twin flame, twin soul, you're still in that relationship to learn and grow. And you might have to grow, you know, through a few of them before you get to the one that you're like, okay, I'm going to grow. But even that one's not perfect, you know, as much as it sounds like it's perfect. But we love the journey. And it's always ever unfolding, right? And to see other people, you know, as I was seeing you and Michael in pictures and just looking at all this happy energy, you can just feel the energy, you know, of the energy between people. We walk into a store all the times and people are like, wow, your energy just feels so big, you know, and both of us have kind of big energies. His energy's probably more so than mine because he's an entertainer and, you know, he's very big energy. So we both have to have a lot of space for our combined energies. Yeah, it's been rewarding, but also, you know, we have to do a lot of work just like you guys. And I'm sure other couples that we've talked to as well that are on this journey. It's not an easy path, but it's like, there's no other choice, you know, in terms of ours, like that's the choice and there isn't another choice. So which is a good thing, because I feel like we were destined in some ways to do what we came here to do together. And that's how we felt from the very beginning.
Yes. And I so appreciate, Lightstar, that you share that with the audience, because again, the ascension, there's that part of the individual. And then remember these dynamic of these for us is it when it's a sacred divine union. There's this part sacred, that is divine, then there's the union. And it really falls for us, we stand behind that because that is our teacher. That from that wisdom itself is teaching us, showing the way to help with other couples and everything. And it goes back to the individual responsibility first, the individual flame. We really put the emphasis on your own flame. Don't go start seeking flame on the outside. You've got to balance that inner twin flame. It is your own inner twin flame. Bring that into that harmony first, like own it, love it. So this is a very important conversation. And I know this year there'll be more conversations of this will be coming with couples, because again, it's just time for it, because some of these floating terminology within the spiritual can throw individuals around, and the perception then is seeing through a lens that I feel is not truly empowering, is not grounded. It just puts it so out. Anything that's putting it on the outside, it's really not the ascension work. The ascension work is very much inside and anchored within. Then it can be shared from there. And I value so much what you shared on that portion here. And as we move towards this latter part of our Ascension Hour, dearest Lightstar, I'd like to open this space up for you for this new year. I was receiving incredible amount of this light stream coming in, and also before the show. And I feel I'd like to open this space up for you to, if it feels right for you and for the audience, some streaming light language that may be of support based on the conversation we have for the audience today, for, you know, as you like. And then what is coming up for you in January and this year, so individuals can get a hold of you and reach to you for all the wonderful blessed things that you're offering.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So what I would like to do with this in terms of first just doing the light language activation is I'm kind of getting that a lot of people still have some mental, scatteredness from maybe that last year, or they're trying to focus and, just like the beginning of a new year and you're trying to focus, but then you still have some carryover from the previous year. So I was kind of feeling like doing a light language activation, and what was coming forth. And this is actually perfect because this background picture I have right here, that's actually about the mental space. It's actually the psychic healing shield that I have, a part of it anyway. But it also is just, I was just feeling like this was very important to clear. And the one that's coming forth is, or the energies that keep coming in for this is the Arcturian energies. The Arcturians are really powerful at clearing mental space. And so that's the overview, is just kind of clearing some of the scattered frenzy energy and the mental field. So as I'm doing this, just kind of, imagine yourself just taking a big ball of all of that energy and just dispersing it out into, whether it be the violet flame or down in the earth or just up into the air, and you have your angels take that away for you so that you can actually clear the slate, before you start manifesting and doing all the things that we're going to do this year. So that's kind of the energy that I wanted to put forth. So I'm sure people are aware when you do light language, just to clear off of everything, anything mental that wants to get in the way or try to analyze it, just put that off to the side and just allow whatever to come through the stream. Okay.
The audience is very good about that, because
everybody knows
a lot of the light that I speak. So
I think everybody's aware of that for now. So, all right. So everyone take a nice deep breath and just get back into your body for a second here, and just be breathing from the lower belly, and just kind of breathe in and out as we go deeper. Didi stane sini shin ya show sona misi sana sate so korun chiana tani se Yitsiana uranche waichiana uno kukwa kuna teni tutaras maite Yisichi shionyani akoya na inse suson ishiti wana siti kiki wane satarmis Sutso sonanata taredis uso tashinini ni arniana nata sonar Durosontai shishiana imiasoran Duyan ramin daranis arisoni tinti kaines Usan, Ushen, Ishi, Ishinti, Urantaisi, Kitse, Sananata, Tananese, Tananata, Tananidusa, Tananese, Sut. Suta, Rananates, Editite, Ananatsat Sat. Gudensi Shi, Shin, Ki, Shugai, Shin, Anitsuta, Yemtiri, Usoti, and Hishin, Harimentu, Rashi, Tanmase, Idesaki. Niniti, Adanti, Erisin, Inimatad, me, Urosati, Isinti, we Shinia came Siara Naisi, Daisine, Shideri, Yatanasi, Wati. Grisa, Dinsa, Tadanese, Tadaneke, Us, Mate, Ananatsa, Tadananatsat, Os, Dansa, Tadadidite, Dedini, Sarkos, Descendi, Isiti, Ursh, Darmati, Isiti, Kente, Sarimiti, Serite. Waransati isitanie, Karinchi, Uronsai de Sikinianatir, Taninar, Saitisi, Siki, Shian Tar Masi, Unsari Hishian, Tari Siti, Seka, Inso, Unsarin, Tariensa, Sosho Quienta Sami, Tisi, Se, Neshi, Harmi City, Titianani, Se, Taranasa, Tarini, Se, To, Unsiti, Inkishidi, Antararasa, Tar. Ntsoro, Unshiri, and Sarime Assam. Everybody take a nice deep breath in. And again, just take that ball of energy that is not for you anymore and just outworn, outdated, and just kind of flush it out through the ethers and down into Mother Earth or into the violet flame. away from you so that your energy can be really pure and clear and clean for a brand new slate, that you are there to manifest and create all of your dreams and hopes and goals and energies for the new year. And so we thank you for that. I appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. You can also reach me. I guess that's where you can reach me, is at my lightstarcreations.com. That's my website that you can go to. And I have so many different things on there. But I'm going to be doing more products and everything this year, but I just finished a lot of different things this past year. It was a big project. So I finished my Cosmic Vision cell phone wallpaper pack. I have my White Swan 555 solfeggio music activation, which is so powerful, in all of my music, but that one's the newest one. My Celestial Frequencies and my Magical Dimensions 2 second edition are coming out. Also should be out at the beginning of the year, which is maybe January, February. We're just waiting for that to come in. And that is my beautiful deck, which has the gold and silver frequencies on the outside. And then now they all kind of match on the inside. So those are powerful decks, both of them to get. They're 99 when you put them all together. If you mix those two decks, it's 99. So it's kind of a completion of that. But they can be used separately or together. So we have that. I also have my frequency wear, my clothing, my new clothing t-shirt line that I put out, and Echo art prints, all my art that you can purchase. And I have custom art that you can, I just have so many things to upgrade with light, sound, color, vibration, light language, and session work, obviously. And that's where you can find everything, is at lightstarcreations.com. And just, if you want to know where everything is, go to the shop all page, and all that is there. And I also have some free gifts for you guys too. If you'd like to sign up for my email list, you get a bunch of goodies that you can play with and get activated with as well.
And I'll put that link on the bottom of this YouTube channel, so they will have access to that. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you for having me. This was really awesome to do this the first of the year, right? This is the starting of the new year. So I'm excited to see what comes for everyone.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for the art of your allowing, because all these goods are truly available to all of us. However, sometimes we're not allowing them, but when we do allow them, how magnificent the expression of that divine from its creation is, because creation has already taken place. It's just allowing it to stream through. And I really thank you, Lightstar, because you have inspired many lives, as you already know, and bringing these through in giving permission to individuals to accept their multi-dimensional, incredible self, allowing that part to also come in. And I appreciate your walk of ascension so very much. And I thank you so much for being a guest on our show, and the first
pleasure.
of the year, and kickstarting this deliciousness for the audience and for my
I'm so grateful. Thank you again, for having me, and, everybody out there. This is your year to get on your purpose and path and share your love and light with humanity, as we all need it so much right now on this planet. So thank you for all of you for your contributions to the Jewel of Terra, as I love to call her, and, to upgrade and bring forth your own light and your own gifts and talents to the world. So thank you all. And thank you, HoniB, for having me. It was just such a pleasure, and I'm excited for the new year and for what all of it will bring for all of us.
That's right. And you already shared the message. I was going to ask you if you have a message to share.
That's it.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today, for your beautiful, gracious presence, for also gifting us this ability to share. And the Ascension Walk truly is about sharing. So as this video is uploaded, please go ahead and reshare it. Reshare it on your social media. Let others also benefit. The more we share from our heart, the more we're opening this space up in us and for all humanity. So thank you so much. Love to you all. And we'll see you next week on the next episode of Ascension Hour with Rev HoniB, as I have Paul Luftenegger on my show. So excited for that as well. So much love, everyone. Blessed day to all of you. Aho.